Card Ladder.
All right, Nick, what's the next question?
Okay, this kind of pertains to it. It's from Cardboard Max. He says, the show is incredible. My maturation in the hobby has led me to believe pop reports matter. Am I right or wrong?
Well, about this time, about halfway through 2020, there was a movement that started in the hobby that literally was a saying people were using that said pop reports don't matter. Okay, and this was like at a time when soccer cards were becoming huge. A lot of those cards had not been graded yet. The pop reports were low. It would have been, in my humble opinion, very instructive to look at the pop reports for those cards at that time and start thinking about how they could change. But alas, the pop reports don't matter movement carried the day for a little while. But now I think most people do feel that pop reports matter. Josh, what do you think, man? Do pop reports matter? And if they do, why?
Yeah, of course they matter. They definitely matter. I can picture the person saying that in 2020, and it pretty much goes like this. Buy a card, probably at that time Soccer Prism, and you feel real excited. You probably paid 2-3x what it was the week prior, because that's how it goes. You're super excited. You look up the value, and you're like, oh, this has so much more room to grow. This is going to go higher. I'm going to sell it and flip it for more. Someone, alerts you to the fact that the population is super high, and then you realize, oh, crap, this is going to be an issue with supply and demand, and then you just try to say to yourself, no, population doesn't matter, this thing will keep going up. And that was just sort of like this momentous thing that was building up at that time, and it's of course untrue. It's just a simple indicator of supply and demand. If there's a lot of something and the demand can't meet it, the price is going to go down.
I will say though that demand fluctuates, so like you can have a pop of a card that's like 15,000 and you think that's a lot of freaking cards, man, but you also have to think if there's 30,000 people who want that card, then pop doesn't matter.
Well, it just matters in a little bit different way. You also want to think about pop is one thing that matters a lot, but there's a lot of stuff that matters around it too. And we don't have time to talk about all of it here, but like one of the things that matters, okay, you have pop, then you have, well, how many are available at a given time? So that's a question that matters as well. So like, there are some rare cards from the 90s that have, that are serial numbered to 500 in the example of the high voltage 500 parallel. But you will never see more than a few of those come to market in a given year. So Pop Report can help with that because the graded pops on those cards are much smaller. Some of the other stuff you want to think about when you think about pop reports too is, will this pop report change? So if a card has a low pop, but nobody even cared about the card 3 months ago, and it's a base card from a set that was pretty widely distributed, that pop can change.
Well, yeah, especially if you go to Card Ladder and you search for the raw version, or you go to eBay and you look at how many raw are out like on eBay right now. You have to think like if the PSA 10 and 9 are skyrocketing, those raw are going to be graded. So you have to think like, okay, this is the current pop, but it could be 2x by the time PSA comes back to where their turnaround times aren't so high.
True. Josh, anything else to add on pop reports?
I remember the 2012 Prism base LeBron was a good example of what you just said, where the raws were selling for like $5 forever. Like nobody cared. They were in boxes, and then the PSA 10s just shot up and started going for like over $1,000, and it's like, oh, people are gonna start grading the heck out of that raw. And then the pop just went insane. Prices started to stabilize on it. It's come down since.
There you go.